Welcome to MySQL Lesson 2. We are going to cover how to use SQL commands to manage your data. One of the first things you'll notice in your text is that SQL commands are not case sensitive. You can mix upper and lower case, or you can choose to use just uppercase. And here are some examples. As you can see, select now tells you the time of day and the date. The next subject we are covering is character sets and collation. You can use the Show Character Set command to view what valid character sets are being used by your MySQL setup. You can always choose the language or character set that is valid for the part of the world that will be utilizing your database. Sometimes you might have Korean or Chinese or other character sets. You can also show collation, which is definitely related to the character set. You can use collation to properly sort based on the character set that is being used by your database. Now let's try setting up a database with a specific character set and collation. So we will create the database and qualify that creation with the if not exists clause. This allows you to make sure that if the database already exists, you don't try to recreate it. After that clause, we will give it a name, MyDB. And the character set that I've chosen is UTF-8 in this case. I have to collate it, so I choose UTF-8 and I choose an interesting one, Icelandic. It is spelled UTF-8 _ Icelandic _ CI. Icelandic might sort in a different order than, say, American English or something like that. Next, I run the create command. As you can see below, the database was created and it was successful. I'm going to verify that my creation was correct by using show create database. And of course, the name of the database was MyDB. If you look in the display area, it says that create database did use the default character set of UTF-8 and collate of UTF-8 _ Iceland _ CI, just as we had inputted. So that worked great. The next example is going to show altering the database character set and collation to something else. In this case, I'm going to alter using the alter command, alter database MyDB, and then indicate the character set of Big 5. And for this example, I've chosen to collate this character set as Big 5 _ Chinese _ CI. And you might ask, why would I choose this particular collation? Well, there are many different character set collation sequences that are valid per character set, and we can find that by using the show character set command that we used at the beginning of this video. We can also see down below that I did alter it. And just like we did in our creation step, we could use the show create database command to find out how it was created and again see that the new character setting is Big 5. So now I'm going to go and drop this database, and I'll just back up here and type the word drop database, MyDB. And that command removes the database from MySQL. You can see below that it was successful. Now we're going to shift gears a little bit and go back and use our sample database that we created in Lesson 1. There are a couple of ways to be sure that you are using the correct database. You can type in use sampdb and execute that command. You can also go over and double-click the name of the database. It will highlight it in dark, like you see here, and then you'll be using that database for the commands that you are running. I'm also clicking the drop-down arrows on the left to show the SampDB tables and column contents in this manner. Since my database hierarchy isn't able to display, I can minimize the data management display like this. Now I can list the columns in the student table. This next example will create a temporary table, and it will use the student table to create it. We start out by typing the keywords create, temporary, table, and I gave it the name student_f. Since we want the student_f table to have the same attributes as the student table, we use the command like student, and then we end that with a semicolon. I'm going to go down to the next line and type an insert command. Insert into student_f, and select all of the records using the select star command from the student table where the sex is equal to F as in fox. Then end with a semicolon. We run both of those commands and they will insert the records. As you can see below, they went in just fine. At this point, we can check to make sure we got the correct records loaded into the student_f table. We just go back up to the top and type select star from student_f. We run that, and below it will list all 15 of the records that were stored in the student_f table. As you can see, they all have the same sex of F, and that means we got all of the female sex in that single table. And just for practice, I'm going to go back up and actually drop that temporary table by typing in drop table student_f. Normally you wouldn't have to drop a temporary table, but I'm planning on using student_f again for a non-temporary table. And we'll create it to give you an example of how to create a table with a different search engine. We start with create table student_f, just like we did before. And again, we're going to make it like student. The difference here, though, after we run that command, is we're actually going to go back and show create table student_f to find out what the default storage engine was. In this case, it was INNODB. If we're going to change it, I'm going to use some pre-setup commands here to alter the student engine to myISAM. And then, like we did before, I'm going to insert all of those students from the student table where sex is equal to F. And finally, I'm going to actually select the information from the student_f table after it's been created. So we run that, and you'll see that we have the same exact list that we had before. Nothing really changed, right? Well, actually, that's not true. Remember, the storage engine was altered. If we run the show create statement again, it's now displayed as myISAM. So it did actually change the search engine. And be sure and check in your text the differences between the various search engines. They're also listed in your keywords for this chapter. After we've done a trial run of creating a table like this, we're going to clean up our table by dropping it. We'll see it's listed on the left as student_f. We run the drop command, and it is dropped. Verify that student_f was dropped by checking the message below and checking the list of tables on the left. So that's the end of this video. I hope that you have enjoyed this and have found some information that's useful in using SQL to manage your data.